cystic. 25% of them end up in nursing homes a year later and don't go home. Now, this is my volunteer patient. Her name is Joyce. Joyce actually had a stroke when she was 36. And that wouldn't have been a stroke we could have treated because we didn't have this technology. Now, Joyce, about 1 hour ago, was sitting at the kitchen table, and she lost control of her left arm and her left leg. It just stopped working. So her family did the appropriate thing. They dialed 911. The ambulance brought her here. Now it's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we have about 3 hours to treat her. Otherwise, she'll never get treatment. So the first thing we would do when she arrives in an emergency room, I'm not an emergency room doctor, by the way, I'm an intensive care doctor. But the first thing we would do is we would interview her, and then we would try to determine whether she could move her left arm or her left leg. Can you lift your left arm, Joyce?
No.
Can you lift your right arm?
Yes.
Can you lift your left leg? Can you lift your right leg? So the left side doesn't work at all. Right. Do you have any feeling in your left arm or left leg?
No.
So for the last hour and 15 minutes, no feeling, no motor function in her left arm and left leg. Now that could be from a number of different things. That could be from a tumor, could be from bleeding, could be from infection, but we're thinking it's probably from a stroke and one we can treat, and if we do this right, she could potentially walk right out of this hospital within about 24 hours. So the first thing our ER staff would do is call a stroke alert, and that's notifying the ER doctor that she's here and we think she's had a stroke. After my assessment, the most important thing I can do is send her down to the X-ray department and do this CAT scan. For those of you who haven't seen a CAT scan of a brain, this is what it looks like. This actually isn't Joyce's brain, but it's a nice brain. And the problem with this study is if she's truly had a stroke, this CAT scan will be normal. So it doesn't show a stroke, it only shows that she hasn't had any bleeding. So we wheeled her into the X-ray department, we do the CAT scan, we see that there is no bleeding, and now we're really concerned. It's been about 2 hours, and this is where this robot machine comes in. We would dial into the neurologist, and we can do that within about 5 minutes, 24/7, 365. Can we do that? In the meantime, we monitor on a cardiac monitor, and we have IVs in place. But the main thing now is trying to use a medicine called TPA. And TPA is a medicine that will dissolve the clot that we think is in her brain. So this robot has the potential to both visualize her by the specialist, but it also has some other things associated with it. We can use a stethoscope so the specialist can listen to her heart, listen to her lungs. The specialist can look at her vital signs, and the specialist can look at x-rays. So it's not just a video connection, it's a data connection. Now, what's happening now is we've alerted the neurologist, and the neurologist is connecting with us. And I'm going to tell him about Joyce, and we're going to see what he says. Maybe. So what we would describe to